Greetings, Minecrafters, Nonsanity here, and welcome to another episode of Modern Skyblock 2 here on the FTOG community server. We've got bees to do. Yeah, we have to do bees, and that takes power, and I've got to get a good power supply, so lots of stuff. Let's get started. Alright, now I'm not streaming because dinner's on its way, and I have only a limited amount of time. But let me catch you up on what I'm doing. Last time I think we were working on the Celestial Altar, and I was expanding it up. It's now at the max tier. Then I went ahead and made this thing, which is, ignore all the mechanics here, the Starlight Infuser. Underneath all of these fluid droppers, the 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, are a liquid starlight down there. And I decided I wanted to try and automate it. So as you can see, I've got fluid droppers above each one of those spots of liquid. And they're all hooked up to some pipes, which is hooked up to a drum of liquid starlight, which the automation, I sort of have it slightly disassembled here because I stole one of the mechanical users that was empty. You know, this one was using a bucket to suck it up out of the light well, piping it into the second mechanical user, which was dumping the bucket into the barrel and then sending it empty bucket back here to be done again. And this one was slipping the crystals on there, and it worked really well. We've got lots of liquid starlights, 129 buckets there, and this one has 201. So what we got here is another mechanical user. This one, any items you want to infuse, you put in there. It will right-click them onto here. This will infuse it, and sometimes it uses one of the buckets of starlight, in which case a dropper will drop another one, and the pipes will get refilled, and the dropper will get refilled. And then then to activate it, once this thing has dropped an item on there, I have my resonating wand in this one, which activates it. And then when it's done, it pops off, and the item collector picks it up and puts it in the chest. So if you want to see it run once or twice here, let's run over and get 2 of these aquamarines. Now these are the wrong aquamarines to put in there. But if you toss them in here, zap them, then they're the right aquamarine, the little smaller blue ones. Thought this wasn't working at first, but it's particular. So there they go in, click, it got zapped, it's activating. After a few moments, it will be infused, it will pop off, get picked up by the advanced item collector, which if I turn its range down, I did. Let's make it 2. Alright, there it is, picked up, and I already activated the next one. And I don't know if it sucked up a block of the liquid, because I can't see it, but I put whole stacks in here, and this seems to work. There we go, 2 resonating gems. And you put glass panes in there to get the glass lenses. Not sure what else it needs, but... Oh, and this. If you put a bucket of liquid starlight here, and then toss in one of those rock crystals and one piece of the blue dust. What's the dust called? Stardust. Then it slowly grows into the celestial crystal cluster, which is pretty cool looking. And if you break that, oh look, I got 2 this time. It actually multiplied it. Strange. But it turns it into a celestial crystal. I don't know what it's good for, but I sort of like doing it. So I'll put that away. Other than that, I really haven't done much. Oh yes, I did build the telescope, and as you can see in the sky, I've researched a couple of the constellations. You do that just by flipping through here until you see one of these screens that has the larger stars. Oh, here's the one I haven't done yet. Good. Been waiting for it to show up. And you drag between them all in the proper connections. And this one's pretty easy. It's basically all the connections. There we go. I've discovered Armara. So now I know all 4 of the constellations I've so far discovered. Discorda. Go back. Vicio. Armara. And Avitas. Now, I suppose there's a second page, but I don't know. I did those 4, and then the next 2 I did, it said nothing there. So maybe now that I've gotten these 4, more will open up. But I don't really need to do that. I made this. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for yet. I haven't looked it up because I so far don't need to. What else? I've made a magnet crucible and a fluid transposer, and I had them doing things. The crusher I think I already had, but I also made an advanced smelting factory just so I can cook things faster, in particular glass, because I put copper into my system and it just used up all of my reserves of liquid crystal stuff. I think it's still going. No, it's done. So now I can put iron in there because I need some more iron. Alright, what else? Over here, I think we're going to be updating shortly, and I heard that the recipe for the tertius has changed, so out of glowstone, get some more glowstone. I need to make some more glowstone. I think I'll do it later. But I'm just making a whole bunch of that. I've got 3,000 of that, so that's good. Here is something we're going to have to work on, and that is bees. I've just made and put down the blocks. There's nothing going on here. They're just placed down and powered. We've got the mutagen producer. This is all from Gendustry. So the mutagen producer, the advanced mutatron, genetic replicator, genetic imprinter, and the genetic sampler. And then I made 4 more of these industrial apiaries to go on the one that I had my infernal bees in with their Hella emulation upgrade and automation upgrade. These have no upgrades yet. They will probably be needing some. And then made a dense stone storage here, a triple high, which has labware and some genetic templates and some blank gene samples. And that will get me started doing bees. But some of these machines take a lot of power, and while they have charged up off of the windmills, we have another project chest down here for power. I've dug out a big hole here with a platform, and here's our project chest, and we are going to make a big reactor. So the first step is just going to be placing down a floor. And I guess this is going to be big enough. Get out one of my favorite tools, the building wand from Not Enough Wands. This is 13 by 13. It is going to be 2 high on the interior with a roof like so. Oops. Bring that over. So we're going to have the outer wall here, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. So now I'm going to have, I didn't grab the cores here, these guys, control rods. So we'll get in the middle here. We're going to have about 3 by 3 of those. There we go. Corners. Alright, now we need glass. Reactor glass. You can use the solid ones, but I figured, hey, why not have it look nicer? Oh, missed one. And ignore that message, that's just me clicking and telling it, making it think that I'm finished, but I'm not finished. Let's get our ports. We're going to put all the ports in the front here. We're going to have our controller over here with 2 input and output ports, 2 redstone ports, and then our power output port. And we can fill the rest in with glass. Boom. Oh, and then we have to put the rods in. I forgot the rods. And that are these. Fuel cells, fuel rods. I'll put this block in, it should complete. There we go. It is a multi-block structure. But we're not going to power it up because that's a lot of empty space. We need to fill in that empty space. Part of that is going to be with just regular glass because the corners don't matter for this design. We're going to have fluid in some of the spaces, but all the radiation coming off the core goes in straight lines, not diagonal. So anything in this area over here, oops, I don't want to break it without a silk touch. There we go. Anything over here is not going to be used in the calculations, so might as well just fill it in with glass, which is a valid material for the insides. Doesn't really do anything except take up space and prevent my fluids from getting all over the place. I could be using my builder's tool for some of this too. There we go. I thought I came in this side. I did not. To make another exit. Alright, so now that is still a valid multi-block, but now we need the liquids. So I've got those on me, and to do it well, and with this is a fairly small chamber, so we're going to try doing it by hand. We're going to try this by hand. Usually I use automation to help fill it, and we do have appropriate devices in this pack. We're going to do it by hand anyway. For that, I really need it to be clear above the liquid so I can bucket stuff in. So even though I just placed these, I'm going to break them back out again. Make sure to get all the pieces. This was a lot of materials to make, but nothing spectacular or difficult. Alright, so we've got 2 liquids here. Resonant Ender, which is ender pearls melted in the magma crucible that I showed you, and gelid cryotheum, which is a little bit harder to come by. Let's see. Cryotheum. Here's the... This is the solid form of it, or this cryotheum dust is the solid form that gets melted down into the liquid in the magma crucible. And to make the solid form, you need blizz powder, nitrate dust, or niter or saltpeter, snowballs, and redstone. Alright, snowballs, that was the first material we had in this pack. We can make plenty of snowballs. Redstone, that's easy to make out of cobblestone to gravel to flint to gunpowder to blaze powder, and then gunpowder and blaze powder to redstone. We got that. Niter you can get from crushing gunpowder in a mechanism crusher, which I had over there next to the magma crucible. And the last thing is the blizz powder, which if you get blizzes, you can harvest their blizz rods. I've never seen a blizz around here. I'm in an ocean biome, not a cold biome, so I'm not getting them here. But there's another way to do it. And that is to take destabilized redstone, which is redstone melted in the magma crucible, pouring it over snowballs in the fluid transposer. That gets you the blizz powder. And then you melt the resulting cryotheum dust in the magma crucible, and you get the liquid. And then you need, for this design, 72 buckets of gelid cryotheum and 24 buckets of resonant ender. Now, we're going to put the Resident Ender on the outside. Oh, got to put this into bucket mode. It was in bucket mode. Oh, I got it crouched to place. There we go. You don't want to fall in that stuff. Let me show you what happens if you do. Boop. It teleports you randomly somewhere nearby, which is dangerous on a skyblock, so be very careful. I was definitely had my flying mode engaged, so I wouldn't fall. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the nice thing about the Resident Ender is it stays where you put it. Gelid Cryotheum, not so much. Which is what makes it very important to place this stuff first. Alright, that is all of that. Now I'm going to get out our drum of the Gelid Cryotheum, and I'm going to load up this tank from that. How full is that? We're fully, completely full. Now this stuff is a little different. Watch this. I place it there. Yeah, it's going to make snow everywhere. Look, the source block fell. That's probably going to fall again down to the bottom. So it should fall one more time, unless it's floating on top of... No, I think it did fall, one of them. I hope it falls. No, I guess it's sitting on top of the liquid ender. Alright, so we're just going to have to place it manually down there. So, down, without touching the liquid ender, or this stuff, and place the bottom layer. Whoop, I touched the liquid ender. And it teleported me on up here. Back down. Whoa! Did I spill it somehow and walk into it? I don't know, that was weird. It should not have teleported me again. I'll keep placing these. Now, to place the top ones, I'm going to get out my snow bricks here and place two like that. No, not there. And those probably just disappeared somewhere. There and there. Now I can crouch to here, 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 here. Oop, there, and it fell. That's fine. There and there. Now I can get rid of... Oh, not both of them. I need to keep one. Place a block there. Break that one. And place a block there. Alright, that looks great. That should be completely filled. And I can now cover it up. And it's going to get all snowy on top. Which is fine. And now I got to do that for the other three, and I'll be right back. Alright, it's all filled and reformed back into a multi-block. You can see we get the 3x3 of Gelid Cryotheum with the outer layer of Enderium. As far as I know, this is one of the most efficient designs as far as the liquids go. It does require a much bigger structure to get that efficiency, but it's worth it, and you can build it upwards. Alright, so we should be able to power it up. So let's get some Simulorium here. And we will, actually this one will be output. This one will be input. So we'll go ahead and toss them in. You can't see the fuel cells, but they should be full. Yep, alright, let's turn it on and see how it does. As it heats up, the efficiency increases. Alright, we're over 10,000 RF a tick, 11,000. We're at 1.04 millibuckets a tick. Heat's still going up a little bit. I guess that's as efficient as it's going to get. I thought this design was a little bit better than that. Oh no, I know what it was. I was missing the center column when I tested it the first time. So we're about at tenth of a millibucket a tick, and 11.8 thousand RF a tick. So let's stop it and let it. It's still making power as it cools off, but it isn't using any more yellorium. So how much yellorium have we used? Well, there's I don't know how much it'll hold inside. I should have checked to see how much was in here when I dumped it. But it's come down 8 here. And it's still producing a little tiny bit of power. It completely cools. So that little bit we ran gave us 7.1 million RF. Not bad. This will be much faster for doing lots of empowerings and so forth. Now, we want it so that it doesn't run when it's full. We want to save power. So, I'm going to put down a little bit here. Make sure this is all in the same chunk. Yeah, it should be. All of this machine is in one chunk. That is one of the rules on this server. And it is a good idea for anybody because things can go wrong if it is not all in one chunk. I'm going to run up here and get some redstone. Come on. There we go. Bring it down, get rid of the lines here. We're going to, well, before we start placing things, let's activate this and we'll say, this is going to be the query. We're going to check the energy. It's going to output a signal. It'll be active when it is above 60%. We're going to hit the commit. So it is above 60% because it's at 70, so this is on. If we set this to 80 and hit commit, it goes off because it's only at 70 something. So we're going to say 60, commit. And on this side, we're going to say power, set from signal. So it's set from signal. So actually, this is the opposite of what I want. I want active while below 60. Commit. And we'll just connect it like that. So, when it falls below 60, like if it falls below 80, we'll hit commit. It turns on this whole system. And then as soon as this goes over 80, this is not a good way to keep it, but oh, look at that. It didn't work. And let's put a light there. So we set from signal, and it is not on. Maybe you have to turn it on manually once. We'll see if it turns itself off as soon as it gets to 80. 7, 8, 9, 80. That went off, but it is still on. So there is a problem there. It is not respecting this input. Unless I didn't hit commit. Maybe I didn't hit commit. Let's turn it on and see what happens. Oh, that's going to stay on because I told it to be on. Alright, well now we won't know until we actually get power out of it. So let's get some power out of it. Let's fly back up here, get some power cables. Here we go, ultimates. I think that'll be enough. Hopefully it is. Plenty. Alright, that should maybe drain a little bit. A little bit. It's actually going up because the windmills. So let's do something that takes a little bit of power. Let's go ahead and do some empowering. Now this is something I haven't done on camera. Oh, come on. Oh. But to make the empowered palace, requires blue dye, yarn ball, cobalt, and stardust. Alright, we've got stardust. Let's get some of that. We'll do 2, I think. If we take any one of the silence gems shards with, what was it you mix it with? String. Okay. And I think I've got some string over here. I've got 7 string there. Alright, let me make some more string out of this stuff. Whoops. Ah, can undo. Crouch, right click. There we go. Let's put that away before it causes more mischief. Straight line. No. 2. Balance. Give me some string. Alright, there we go. So string around this gives you yarn. And now we get to the more complicated thing. And actually I'll need some more of this stuff for this. And a little bit of lapis. So this takes blue dye. And it's specifically extra utilities blue dye. It is not changing. It does not take lapis or Botania blue dye or anything else. It has to be this blue dye. And the only way to get it is to crush wool or carpet in a crusher from Applied Energistics, from actually extra utilities, to get blue dye at a 5% chance for either one. So it's better to do it with the carpet. So what I'm going to do is make, there's the stuff, 8 wool, make it to that, make some carpet. That's right, 2 is carpet. So we're going to take this and put it into the crusher from extra utilities. And we have a 5% chance of getting the blue dye. We'll get some string, but we might get some blue dye. And that's why you just got to keep doing it. Thankfully, you can take the string, turn it back into wool, make some more carpet, and sort of recycle a little bit. You lose, since this is just 2 string. Takes a lot more than that to make a piece of carpet, I think. Got to go up and down the math. But you just got to wait until you get blue dye. And so far, no blue dye. And then the other ingredient is cobalt, which I've got. Oh, that's full up. That's full up. Got rid of the snowman. Once you can make a glacial precipitator, do it. Especially if you're on a server. Snowman and the mechanical users getting the snow and picking up the items. Bad for server when everybody's doing it and doing it constantly. This guy, much better for the server. Switch to that. I'm going to put away my string. I'm just going to throw the snowball. Put away that. I have 2 extra reactor glass. Not sure how that came to be, so I'll put that away. Put my extra power cables away. Containers. That's the one I carry with me, so I'm going to keep it. Now we can get the cobalt. There we go. 2 cobalt. See if we got 2 blue dye. Got 1. So we can get things started. So now we just need to make the palace. So I'm going to do it in block form. Toss it in there, zap it. There we go, palace. Palace there. Stardust. Yarn. Cobalt. Blue dye. That should activate. And as soon as we get a second blue dye, we can toss it in there for the second one. All these have the ultimate energy cubes underneath them, and that should be using up my power from the reactor just fine. So let's go check it. It is on and charging up. So it came on its own. That's a good sign. And all of its power is being sent out. I probably need to update. Yeah, these are only advanced. I need to upgrade all my advanced to the ultimate. I'll do that between takes. So this will not be filling back up again until it is done doing its tasks. How are we doing for... There we got a second one. Good. And I'll wait to do that one. Just stick it there for now. So when this is done, we'll come back and we'll check to see if the reactor shuts off after refilling. So we'll be right back. And it finished. As you can see, it's restocked all the items except the dye because we didn't put it in. We've got our block of empowered palace. Let's go check on the reactor. Come on. Down we go. And it is still on. And it is charging back up. And we'll check the... We have it set to 80. Let's set it back down to 60. Commit that. Shouldn't change. It's not up to 60 yet. And it will be there shortly. It definitely goes up quickly at 11,000 a second. I like that. Alright, it's almost up to 60. Let's see if it shuts off. It did not. Oh, no, it did. Just took it a moment. And now it'll continue to coast upwards on the remaining power, which is why I set it to 60. I wanted to see how far it will coast. It's already up to 68, 69. Probably get up to 70. So it coasts a little over 10,000. Or maybe just a little under 10,000. So I can probably set it up to 90. Let's set it to 85. That's a nice... Do it to 85 and commit that. So I'd kick it back on again because it's not there yet. Now here it won't get as hot before it shuts down, so it won't coast for as long. But it's getting pretty close to its normal running heat. Alright, there we go. 85. Now it's cooling off. Hopefully it doesn't hit the top. If it hits the top, then we're wasting a little bit of power. No, I don't think it's going to get there. I think that's a good number. 85 is a good number. Yep, it's not going to get to the top. So that's it. And it hasn't used any more fuel. So it's still probably just... Oh yeah, I can tell how much fuel it's used by how much waste there is. 0.4 depleted. Not enough to create an output block. Yep, so it hasn't even used one ingot yet. And that was 50 million that recipe took. Plus filling itself up now. So we've got power. We'll leave those up there because they'll supplement it. But now we can start doing bees. And for that, we'll come back after dinner to do that. Yeah, I'm not live streaming at the moment. Sorry guys that watch the live streams behind the scenes. I'll probably be live streaming for continuing after this point. But I knew dinner was coming soon. I want to get started, so did a little bit now. Back in a bit. And a bit later, I've eaten, and the stream is live, and we're ready to do some bees. As you can see, I've got some bees flying around. Oh, did I leave? Oh, they're the regular... Can they sting? I didn't know these guys could sting. Oh, I've got these guys in here. Alright, take them out. I just wanted to make sure they worked. This must have grown enough for them to be happy with them. Yeah, those are the infernal bees, which we will be needing, because this is our plan. We want to make the wither bee, so I can make wither skulls. For that, you need to breed a demonic with a spiteful. Demonic bees are fiendish with sinister. Sinister is cultivated with any hive bee, any bee you get from a hive, plains, forest, so forth. Fiendish is sinister with cultivated or hive. The spiteful bee is infernal with hateful, Infernal was the one that I just took out of the hive. That's a hive bee itself, so it doesn't need to be bred. Hateful is infernal with eldritch, and eldritch is any magic bee with a cultivated. So those are the breeds we want to run here. I have already put a stack of Meadows drones in here, and I put half a stack of these bee samples. So now we can see all of the genes that those bees have. Well, at least a random selection of them. See if there's anything in here. Effect none. I like that one. I mean, these are pretty basic bees. So they don't have a lot of good features to them. Only thing I'd want to get maybe is the species, but don't need to have it. So let's go to the bottom here and stick this one in the keepers. And then I'm going to take all the rest of these. I need to have some automation built over here. Because while I can put 5 of them in here... Oh, they don't work in this one. Oh, interesting. Do they work in this one? They do, but it's slow. Alright, well, that's okay. This one has automation on it. So I'll stick all those in there. Yeah, that's really slow. I'll have to figure out if there's a faster one that I can use. In the meantime, let me make up some more of those. Where's the empties? There's the empties. 10 around redstone. So 10 around redstone gets us 15 more. I should eat something since the bees stung me. And I can toss these in here. So this is all the drones you get from your breeding. You want to stick them into the genetic sampler with blank gene samples and labware, and it will create all those traits. So here we're running these guys. These have got the automation upgrade, lifespan upgrade so they die off quickly and cycle through again, and the light upgrade. And they're making me some honeycombs so I can power my bee analyzer. So what are we going to do? Oh, there's 3 more in here. Let's go put them into the input chest. I have a feeling when we come back after I've had some time breeding bees, I will have a bit more automation right here. Alright, so we have this effect none. This is one that I'm going to be using on a lot of bees. So I am going to... Let's see. I don't think I wanted to get that machine. I think I got the wrong machine. Yeah, that's the imprinter. Oops. Give me that back. This is the wrong machine. Let me fix it and I'll be right back. Alright, that is the right machine. That is the machine I need, the genetic transposer. But first, we don't need a machine for this next step, actually. We take our blank genetic template and our effect none gene, craft them together. You lose the gene, but you get a permanent genetic template with 1 of 13 chromosomes. And if I hold down Shift, you can see all the possible chromosomes: species, never sleeps, flowering, speed, humidity, tolerance, flowers, lifespan, tolerates rain, fertility, territory, cave dwelling, and temperature tolerance are all missing, but we do have effect none. So that we're going to keep and we're going to put in here. Because now I can take, for example, oh, where'd it go? The infernal queen I've got here. I don't think I can put a queen through this. Can I? No. It would have to be a princess, which I think I do have an infernal princess here and an infernal drone here. So I'm going to put both of those through here. Oh, I need labware. Also, maybe the queen would work. I'm curious. Let's try it. I don't think you want to put a queen through it because you can. I think it doesn't change both genes. in the queen. In other words, it may resume stinging me after it's bred a few times. There's a chance that might happen if you put a queen through here. It's better to put a princess and a drone through here. But we'll find out what the genetics of this bee are using the portable analyzer when it comes out the other side. But just to show what the regular value is, it's aggressive in the effect. So that's what we want to get rid of. Oh, we lost the queen. I guess you can't put queens through. Alright, let's put the Infernal Princess through. This is just genetic waste, which we don't need for anything. But I'm going to save because I'm a hoarder. Alright, let's let this go through. That's so I can fast forward over this. And it's almost done. There it is. Now we saw this one had the aggressive gene, and now look at that. Effect none on both sides. But before we breed it with another bee, we'll have to put that breed through the same process so it's not going to reintroduce aggressiveness into later generations. Then we'll have an Infernal Princess that we can use for this breeding with the Eldritch and this breeding with the Hateful. So I guess Eldritch is our next target, which is cultivated in any magic. I don't think I have any cultivated. Let's see, cultivated is the dark purple, and I don't have any dark purple. So we're going to have to make the cultivated from a common and a forest. To make it common, we need a forest and say, where's a, no, tropical should work. Alright, now that's, for this we need, ooh, yes, I need some Yellorium. I know I should save all my Yellorium for the reactor, but I've got a fair bit, and the next bee I want to make is a Yellorium bee. This is the mutagen producer. You can toss redstone, uranium, or in this case, Yellorium, to get a lot of mutagen out of it. This is like a mutating solution. And then you can put two bees in here, and it lets you select. This is the advanced Mutatron. Don't make the regular Mutatron. Go ahead and upgrade to the advanced version. This one lets you select the exact output you want from this pairing. You don't have to get the wrong thing. You don't have to try multiple times and wait for it to happen. As soon as I've got mutagen and power, I can select the common. Oh, I need to put labware in there. It all consumes labware. Toss that in, select the common, and there it goes. Those two bees will breed, and they will have to create a common queen. There we go, common queen. We can run over here to our beehives. Now these two at the end here have 4 of the lifespan upgrades, so I'm going to take the forest drones out. I'm just going to slap them on the front here and let this common queen do her thing. Is she happy? She is happy. She should be. She's common. And here we've got our infernal drone. If I put these two in and they breed together, they should not sting me. They shouldn't sting me. You notice even though it's nighttime, the bees are flying around because I put the light upgrade into all the units. Very important. This cuts the breeding time in half, so definitely a good thing. Alright. So we're going to get our cultivated and then mix it with a magic bee. So what magic bees do we got here? These are the shimmery ones. Steadfast? No. Ender. Sorceress Princess. That sounds magic to me. And I don't think it matters whether it's the first or the second, but I've got them in the same order that they are, and that's Princess and Drone. Princess, Drone. Princess, Drone. Princess on the left, Drone on the right. That's the way it's displayed in the GUI. I don't know if it has to be that. I don't think so. We can always try it out by putting a different combination into the mutagen here, Mutatron. But for now, I've got a Princess of Magic, and shortly I will have a common Actually, we'll take the common with a... Let's do a forest. So put the forest drone in there, and we're going to take our common queen. I know I shouldn't take the common queen away. Do I need... I just need a lot of cultivated. I don't need the common right now. So I'm going to, for the sake of speed... There we go. Actually, I want to take off the automation. Do that again. Got one common drone. What I really want to do, and what I would normally do if I was doing this off camera, is I would let this run for a long time, get a whole stack of common drones, and then run them through this thing to generate as many traits as possible, and hopefully get the common species trait. Got some more effect nuns, but I don't need them anymore. Yeah, nothing really I need there, so I'm going to go ahead and cook these up as well to recycle them. And I should have a new set down here that I can pop in. That I want to automate. Though you need to be able to stop and look at the outputs before they get recycled, of course. So never sleeps false. Now never sleeps true I'd keep. But never sleeps false I don't need. And I don't really need it because I've got the light upgrade. Between the being able to change the genes of the bees and upgrade the industrial apiaries, you can do pretty well any bee anywhere. At any time. In any weather. These honeycombs I'm going to centrifuge to get the honey drops, which power, they go up here and they power the genetic analyzer here. Alright, we've got our common princess and some common drones. So we're going to toss our common princess in, and we're going to get a cultivated queen back out. And just in case I get common species, I'll toss those in there. Nope, not there. Here. There we go. Cultivated queen. Now this one I do need to run for a while to get lots of babies, lots of drones. And then I can get the species. Once I get the species, I can do the same thing I did with the nun here. I can make one of these genetic templates with the species of cultivated. Then I can go to my cupboard here, take any princess, toss it into this machine with the... No, toss it into this machine with the species template and turn it into that species. Turn it into a cultivated. So I guess we're going to have to take a break here while I breed some more of these bees. And we'll be back after that. We interrupt these bees for another little project. I'm making this. Those of you who have seen some of my other series may recognize this. For those who haven't, this is the Multi-Storage Mods Vault, made of vault wall blocks and a vault door, which if I right-click, I am now inside the vault. Teleports me in. Right-click again, and I'm out. If I crouch right-click, I can access who can get in and out, and I can pop the door off. Otherwise, this thing cannot be broken by anything. And no one can get in it except me. And no one can get out of it except me. So, once we get wither skull fragments and can make the wither skull from the withering bee, it's going to go in here. But while this is 3 wide, that's wide enough to build him in here, and 3 tall, it's wide enough to build him in here as well. The wither is slightly taller than this, so its head is going to be sticking up out of the top. That's all. I put a light in here. And it'll just go right up through the ceiling. So, to keep him from escaping, we're going to build another smaller vault on top. They have to be at least this big, so it's going to be off-center. You know, maybe I'll just go ahead and make it... I want it to look nicer. Since this is right here in my world, I'll make it the same size. But you build the entire frame out of iron bars, which I'll do now, and then you turn it into concrete, which is the next step. There it is, all built. Next we're going to be making this stuff, vault concrete, which when you right-click it, turns it into the vault block. And that's a very easy recipe. I do all but one of my buckets with water. And that is it. Sand, gravel, water, and an empty bucket. And you can just keep putting buckets of water in, taking out vault concrete. Pretty simple. Just make sure you get all the back edges and corners, which you can't get from the inside. Just go ahead and do that, and then we built the door. All cemented up and ready for a door. So let's craft that. It does take a good bit of stuff. Where are my... I was waiting on these blood orbs. They're very slow. There we go. But I should have one in here. Good. Because I need to make 6 pistons. Not 6 pistols. 6 pistons. Two blocks of iron and glass pane. There we go. Vault door. Put the remainder away. All you need is one vault door. The vault door can be a 2x2 or a 3x3. Just place it, and it's done. And now I can go in. Oops, it's dark. Let's put a light in here. And this floor will be what keeps the wither from coming up and escaping from its lower box. Don't put it in the upper box. It'll escape that one. But it should not be able to escape from the bottom one unless something has changed. I'm hoping it hasn't. Otherwise, I'll have to fly and lead it away. So I put it on this side of my base. And the bees are done. I have made it to the top of the ladder, and I have a withering bee. In fact, been running overnight, and I've got 6 wither skeleton skulls, 5 wither fragments left, and 3 bone chips, and a whole lot of drones. The interesting thing is, I made 2 of them. Here's another one. But this one didn't produce any of these fragments. It was just producing drones. So I had made a new one. I don't know what happened to the old one, but I made a new one. And this one's producing, obviously. So I got a few more. So these, you just put in a 9. You get the fragments. And the fragments are in a group of 6, and you get a skull. So I've got enough for 2 withers. So maybe we'll end the episode with that. And then I think next episode I will show the procedure I used and worked out while doing all this. This episode's getting a little bit late. So let's breed these 2 for a common. And I want to see a wither. Let's make a wither right now. See if it escapes the box. 3 of those. I don't think I have any more soul sand. I used it all up. But that's easy to get. And let me put down this sink here somewhere. So for soul sand, we just come over here to the atomic reconstructor, toss sand in, zap it, and we have soul sand. Alright, here goes. One, 2, 3. There he is. Get out. I better go around to the other side and get out a sword. Back up. Yeah, sword. Just in case. I'll probably die if he gets out, but I'm going to come back over here. If he escapes, he'll hopefully come this way. Ah, he's trapped. Is he suffocating? That's the question. Yes, look. His health is going down a little bit. He will slowly die. And now, because I don't want to lose his drops, I'm going to... I've got a spare item collector, I think. From the old... Where did I stick it? Thought I had one. He's going to take a while to die, so let me find that and I'll be right back. And that's it. From bees to nether stars. This is Nonsanity. Take care, be good, and see you next time.